welcome to this training by TSBS. We recognize that there have been many recent changes to the SHARS service of personal care, and TSBS is here to help you understand the specific details of these changes. For the purpose of reimbursement, activities eligible for personal care services are limited to activities of daily living, or ADLs, and instrumental activities of daily living, or IADLs. ADLs are activities that are essential to daily self-care. IADLs are activities related to living independently in the community. Personal care services are facilitated through direct intervention, like assisting the student in performing a task, or indirect intervention, like cueing or redirecting the student to perform a task. ADLs and IADLs are limited to the following. For ADLs, they are bathing, dressing, eating, locomotion or mobility, personal hygiene, positioning, toileting, transferring. For IADLs, they are escort, medication assistance, money management, and telephone use or other communication. Only these activities are eligible for reimbursement under the SHARS service of personal care. You can add these activities in the Customize Activities section in Epic. If you need to add activities for documentation, you can do that with the Add New Activity button. Just keep in mind that they will not be eligible for SHARS reimbursement. One of the more significant changes made for personal care services is that documenting for personal care group is no longer allowed. You can now only bill for personal care individual. When documenting for personal care individual, you can only bill for one student at a time. You may bill for multiple students throughout the day, but you must not have overlapping times in your documented sessions. If you do select more than one student when billing for personal care, your status will switch to group, and you will receive a message about its ineligibility for reimbursement. Additionally, group personal care now comes with a not billable identifier. Another new regulation for documenting personal care services is that it is now required that the billable start time and stop time for each ADL and IADL must be recorded. In the simplest terms, when documenting for personal care, each time you perform one of the listed ADLs or IADLs, it will need its own entry in Epic. For example, if you're assisting a student at lunchtime by helping them eat and clean up, that would be its own entry into Epic. Say then you have to assist the student move from lunchroom to the restroom. That would be a second entry. And finally, in the restroom, you assist the student with transferring on and off the toilet, clean up afterward, and adjusting clothing. That would be a third entry into Epic. Because of this new requirement of documenting each personal care activity individually, you are no longer required to enter in deductions for other SHARS service areas. Since deductions are no longer relevant for documenting PCS, the deduction section has been removed from Epic. Now, let's demonstrate how to set up a recurrence for multiple instances for the day using the previous example. We can start by selecting our date of service. Then, we will choose our student. Remember, you can only bill a single student at a time. Billable times may not overlap with another student. When you choose your student, the service code will default to individual. We can then enter in our start and end times. Last, we will choose the activity of eating. Next, let's select Duplicate Last Row, so we don't have to re-enter everything again. You'll want to reselect the original start date. Then, change the times for the new service as well as the activity. For the last entry, select Duplicate Last Row once again. Pick the same date, choose the new times, and select the activity. In this example, toileting. You will then want to select the Create Recurrence button on the left-hand side. Select the days you would like it to repeat. In this example, we are doing Monday through Friday. Enter your end date. You may type it in or use the calendar option. This will create a recurrence for the entirety of the date range for every weekday. Then click Save. Repeat this process for the other two entries we previously created. You now have created a recurrence for 3 different services at 3 different times of the day for the whole month. They display in chronological order. Click Save Sessions at the bottom of the screen. This process will save you time in having to repeat entries over and over again. Should times need to be edited or absences accounted for, that is fine, because we have simply created a template for our PCS billing. Any necessary changes can be made by going into Review Sessions and selecting the Edit button. Here, you can adjust the start or end time if necessary, or mark a student absent. Once you are finished editing the session, please click on Submit Sessions at the bottom of the page.